to another parable. There was a man, a landowner, who planted a vineyard. He fenced it round, dug a wine press in it, and built a tower. Then he leased it to tenants and went abroad. When vintage time drew near, he sent his servants to the tenants to collect his produce. But the tenants seized his servants, thrashed one, killed another, and stoned a third. Next he sent some more servants, this time a larger number, and they dealt with them in the same way. Finally, he sent his son to them. "They will respect my son," he said. But when the tenants saw the son, they said to each other, "This is the heir. Come on, let's kill him and take over his inheritance." So they seized him and threw him out of the vineyard and killed him. Now when the owner of the vineyard comes, what will he do to these tenants? They answered him, "He will bring these wretches to a wretched end and lease the vineyard to other tenants who will deliver the produce to him when the season arrives." Jesus said to them, "Have you never read in the scriptures, 'It was the stone rejected by the builders that became the keystone. This was the Lord's doing, and it is wonderful in our eyes.' I tell you then that the kingdom of God will be taken from you and given to a people who will produce its fruit." What a challenging gospel. I read it in preparation for this and I was reflecting on it and thinking, my goodness, it's full of people doing the wrong things and then getting severely punished at the end. What is God trying to say to us? Of course, for Jesus' listeners, this had a lot of relevance because they were surrounded by vineyards which had tenants in them, and then there were servants sent to collect the dues and make sure the produce was going all right. Jesus was having a bit of a crack at the Pharisees and Sadducees here. They were like the tenants of God's vineyard, and they were not helping people. And they didn't deliver the goods, so to speak. So when I think about that in my life, I sometimes think, well, God has trusted me with a vineyard. Now, whether I see that vineyard as my own inner space and my own growth in being a good, solid Catholic Christian, or whether I see the vineyard as out there in the world where I'm trying to minister and be alongside people who have a need of something, then I still have a job to do, and I still have to bring all my talents to this vineyard, and I still have to welcome the servants who come, other people who want something from me. If I turn them away, and maybe that's the vulnerable part of myself, I might be thrashing, or somebody out there who I don't particularly like and I turn a cold shoulder to. If I do that, I'm like the tenants who turned away the servants, and my due will be an unhappy one. However, if I work at my vineyard, if I till it, if I protect it from marauding whatevers, if I make sure that the soil is tilled and the watering is done, and I am conscientious about this, then the kingdom of heaven will be expanded in some way. Because isn't this our task on earth? You know how we say in the Our Father, "Your kingdom come." And that's the task of each one of us, to bring God's kingdom, God's reign amongst us, so that people will know that God is indeed here and is alongside them, listening to them, caring for them, enabling them and their friends and relations and the whole world indeed to be a better place. Maybe as a result of hearing this gospel, we might be invited to pray for peace more surely, because this vineyard was not a very peaceful place. And so let's, during the coming week, have a small prayer every day for peace, and let's concentrate on being an island of peace in our own little daily life so that others may get that sense from us.